Good morning. Oh my goodness, you have to get very close to this. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for coming along for today's session. We're looking at the challenges and solutions to accessing patient and providers' perspectives. Can you pop to the next slide for me? Thanks. So we've structured it slightly differently. We had 7 speakers and we have 5 who've actually managed to be able to come today. We've put it into 2 different themes. The first theme was environmental comprehension and well-being challenges when implementing operational research. So we have 2 speakers who are going to be speaking to this. First is Dr. Adhikari, and then we have Dr. Blakey. And then after they present their presentations, we're then going to have a discussion session. So we have a short discussion session. If we can go back one, there should be one with an overview. That's it. So we have a short discussion, and then we'll have 3 more presentations. Hold your questions until the end, and then we can have a longer discussion during that period of time. So we're going to have the presentations thematically set up, and then discussions. So hopefully we can get some really rich conversation happening today's session. So with that, I'll go forward to Dr. Adhikari.
Thank you, Dr. Gillian. I request our first speaker, Dr. Adhikari, to start with the presentation, please.
Thank you, Dr. Gillian and Dr. Anirudh. Now, now I'm starting my presentation. Sorry for a little bit of font change while copying and pasting my presentation to this laptop. So maybe there is some formatting change. I apologize for that. So my talk is participation, activity and quality of life of Nepalese children with visual impairment and in comparison with the normally sighted peers. So there's no conflict of interest, and my co-authors are Ellen, Ruth, Fleur, Manish and Jar. It is a part of a big study in which it was a study among Nepalese children with visual impairment on etiology, activity, sleep patterns, participation and quality of life. And the paper that I'm presenting today is a part of that big study, and that study was conducted here in 2 settings. One was outpatient department of Tilganga Institute of Ophthalmology, in which we recruited moderate to severe children with the moderate to severe VI, and then we recruited children from the integrated schools for the blind in and around the Kathmandu Valley, and from there we recruited blind and normally sighted peers who were studying in the same class, same grade level and same schools. And then the method, this is another, for the measurement of activity and sleep pattern, we use the actigraph, which I'm not going to talk today. And then the main part to find out the participation activity was to use the patient-reported outcome measures that were PROMs, and we used 3. One was participatory and activatory inventory children and youth PI-CY. One was PED-IQ, that is pediatric eye questionnaires. And the third one was LVP-FQ, that is LV Prasad functional vision questionnaires too. And then the questions were translated, culturally adapted. And the PI-CI was from Dutch to Nepali, and the other 2 were from English to Nepali. And then we did some measurement analysis. The item analysis were done in PI-CY, and then it resulted in 2 subscales: physical functioning and psychosocial subscales. And in another one, the PED-IQ, that was to find out eye-related quality of life questionnaire. They had 4 subscales, and another one was LVP-FQ, which was to find out the functional vision, and then it didn't have any subscales. Age distribution, we took children from 7 to 17 years, and then there were 2 groups of children. One was 7 to 12, and another one is 13 to 17 years. And administration of the PROM were done like this. Like we administered PI-CY in all the groups, but in eye-related quality of life, we did that on moderate to severe VI and the blind children. So these were the flow chart, how we went to the schools and did these things. So the question T1 is the questionnaire, and then And then the T2 with the repeat questionnaire, we did that after 2 weeks. The repeat questionnaire was done after the 2 weeks, and then the actimeters were also used along that thing. That is the flow of the things that we did when we went to the schools. So in the data analysis, the LVP, FEQ, and PID-IQ, we did basic measurement properties, internal consistency, distribution of responses over the response categories, and then in PI, we did item analysis, and then after that, total scores and subscores analysis were done of the questionnaires, and association of severity of VI and scores assessed with the A6 adjusted by the linear regression, and correlation between PROMs were also analyzed. So I have given a very brief results because it has a very big analysis and statistics. But what I have just a summary of the results I want to project here. So what we found that the children with the blindness scored worse than the children with VI, and who scored worse than the normally sighted children on the smaller age group children, 7 to 12 years, and the physical functioning subscales of the older children. But the psychosocial functioning of this, in the psychosocial functioning, what we found was the blind children performed a little better than the visually impaired children, the second group of children. And then another one, in LVP FEQ, we found again the same thing, that because it didn't have any age subcategory, we found that the blind children scored worse than the visually impaired children, who scored worse than the normally sighted children, which is usually quite expected in other studies. And then in the quality of life questionnaires, what we found was in younger children, the results were better in the normally sighted children, but in the older children, again, except the physical functioning subscale, in other subscales like bothered by eye and vision, and then other subscales, they scored, the blind children scored slightly better than the visually impaired children. So that is what we found very interestingly. And this is all the statistical analysis. So because of the short time we were assigned, I just wanted to be quick. And this is the graph that shows how the results has been projected. It's in the younger age group, and higher scores worse outcome, because there are two questionnaires in which the PI-CY questionnaires, the higher scores were the worse outcome, and this is the scoring data. And this is now the picture that shows that in the psychosocial functioning in the older age group, the blind children scored. One minute. Okay, so I'll be just quick. Whatever I told, this is described in the picture. So in the discussion, what I would like to say that 90% of the children that were blind children reside in the hostel, and children with the blindness had a similar or slightly better psychosocial outcome as the children with the VI. So we think that it's maybe because of the integrated system of education that we have in Nepal, and then creating the bond, so having the good psychosocial environment, maybe that is the one. And another one is why the visually impaired children, older children, are having lesser scoring or lesser participation is maybe because that is the group of the children who are neither in the Braille school, and it's difficult for them to go to the mainstream normal schools because of the printings, because of the low vision aids, difficulty in getting the low vision aids, and so many other things. And then at the same time, pressure from the parents and the peers to do as good as their normally sighted peers. So that is what we think it's in the discussion, and there are some limitations and strength what we found in our study. So this is the PROM, which was this is the first time in Nepal we have this now all measured and analyzed, and then having the PROM, which we can finally now we use in our own children, and we have large sample size with a very good control with the same school and same grade level, the normal and the VI, the blind children we took. And so in conclusion, the first of its kinds in Nepal, and then explored various aspects of the important daily activities, and that what we conclude is that children with the VI, the group that is visually impaired group, needs more attention than the blind children, at least. From this study, that's what we found. And then the next recommendation is to find out the barrier. Why did this happen? So I think this is my last slide. Thank you so much. And if you want to go to the detail of these studies, if you are interested, then this is the link for this study. It's a part of a big study that's just been finished, and all the and papers have already been published. Thank you so much.